Alrighty, hello and welcome everyone to a new episode of doing something today, which is a special kind of thing. My sister recently had her birthday, and for a birthday present, she asked me to play a special game of Chrono Trigger. You'll see how it's special as I go forward. So I'm going to do a new game plus so I can get through this as quick as possible. I'm not going to do the entire gameplay, but just do snippets here and there of some of the boss battles and the naming of the characters, because the naming of the characters is the most important thing, and some of the endings that she asked me to just do some of my favorite endings, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And so here we go. I'm going to start a new game plus, which allows me to start a new game with all the old equipment and levels and stats my characters had. Chrono Trigger was one of the very first games to do this. Now there are a lot of Japanese role-playing games who do this. So we're going to start out with our main character, and we're going to give him a special name. This is Bob. That's the correct way to say his name as well, because you're going to see very quickly there are very different ways that you can say the name Bob. So in the Kingdom of Guardia, it is 1000 AD, and this kid Chrono, who only has a mother, what happened to his father we don't know, and somehow he's grown up to be a swordsman. How we don't know that either, but he has a wooden sword and he's very well trained with it. And he's excited to go to the Millennial Fair. Like every good red blood teenager, you need excuses to party and have fun. Okay, most important thing we need to do first is get him properly upgraded. We're going to go ahead and do that. Protect status. Gold stud. Oh, and do our settings here. Make everything fast. Change window menu. Let's go with 3. Nice classic blue. Especially for my sister, whose favorite color is blue. Therefore, we want blue. And vendor friend of yours, what are we going to call her? Oh, obviously, there's only one name she can possibly have. Her name is Bob? So yes, the theme of this game is that everyone will be called Bob. Normally in Chrono Trigger, you can't call everyone the same name, or multiple people the same name, but that only applies if they're actually the exact same characters. So, by changing the specialties surrounding Bob, they become different people. So now we run into the girl at the fair. What a meeting of destiny. And Lean's bell is ringing as well. But we ran into the girl so hard that we knocked their pendant off, so let's go give it to her. Of course, we're going to be a nice guy and move back. And of course, we have to name this girl. She can only have one name. Her name is Bob! Bob? What a nice name. Okay, so now we have to run around. So we have to talk to a person or two to get that started. If you aren't tired of Bobs yet, you will be by the time this is over. I'm not going to do anything special here. I prefer not to get sentenced to execution in the trial for various reasons, and waste time to try and set it up. And you generally do well enough, you don't need to do things like rescue the kitty. Alrighty. Sure, we'll try out your strange invention and get transported Star Trek-like from one pod to another. We even got turned into bits of light and everything. Hey, Bob, how'd you pick up a cutie like her? So, of course, Bob is so excited by the machine she wants to try it out too. What? Something's gone wrong. The pendant's shining. Oh no! And thus begins the adventure. Because Bob gets sucked into a gate. After getting turned to sparkles, luckily she reforms in the gate, at least. But she left the pendant behind. Why? We don't know. Maybe she tried to throw it away in panic. Even if it has great sentimental value as a family heirloom or royal treasure. Alrighty, so valiantly, Bob is going to use the pendant to try and go after her. What a fine lad, indeed. I don't know if firing a gun at the controls and hitting it with a hammer does any good, but apparently that's how you work it. More power. They did it easy the first time, but now they have to do more power for a second go around. And so begins Chrono's adventure. So I'll pick up again when we encounter our next Bob. Alrighty, so we went after, we found Bob in the castle. She was mistaken for Queen Lean, who had been kidnapped. But then she suddenly vanished, and then Bob showed up and explained that Bob was actually Princess Nadia from the descendant of Queen Lean. And since she was rescued instead of the Queen, she vanished, causing history to go crazy. So we have to go find and rescue the real Queen Lean to put everything back. Yeah, time travel. Ain't it fun? And since we did a new game plus, we're overpowered, so the fights go easy. So even these Naga ads are no threat to us. That was close. Oh no! Heck, that one, even though it's just as weak as the rest, is too much for the poor glasses girl. Good thing the frog showed up. There's only one name we can possibly give to Bob. This one is Bob. Okay, now we'll pick it up with the first boss, Yakra. Because we're in-game quality characters, naturally these early boss fights aren't going to be very much, so we've got to do our victories in impressive ways. And I guess everybody knows there's only one ability you can possibly use on the first Yakra. Farewell. Thank thee, Bob and Bob. You're welcome, Bob. Create a criminal justice system. Oh, that doesn't turn out so well. Just laying the best music in the gameplay there. Now we're going to go and get Bob back. Sorry, Bob. Didn't mean to deceive you. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. Let's go home. And we will pick it up next at the trial, which I'll show just for the heck of showing the trial. Let's have fun. Alright, so we've escorted Princess Nadia home. Obviously, we're going to get a hero's welcome, right? Right? These people don't look very effective as soldiers. She also yells at them and they all kneel to the Chancellor. Let's see if I can get a clean sweep this time. For some reason, my game always stutters at this point. You, the jury, will decide. Hereby ordered to tell the truth. I always take the hero's blame for it. I'm not gonna try and put it off on the girl. It always seems worse when he points out that you ran into the princess, which is true. It is impossible to let the princess run into you. If you stand there, she'll run all around you, won't do anything. You have to actually be moving, even just slightly. You'll suddenly bump into her if she's close enough, and you'll knock her pendant off. Oh. Second guy is completely random, pretty much. I've only ever gotten one clean sweep, even when I help out the little kitty. Alright, I'm gonna keep going for a little bit, just to show off something that my best friend Jinx Black didn't know about until I showed it to him one time when we were playing together. Years he'd played this game and never knew this trick. It's so simple. Incompetent prisons. So they locked me up. And now they decide to do prisoner abuse. But they didn't take away my sword. Which naturally one-shots these guys. Doesn't normally, except cinematically, but since I'm so powerful, I'm just gonna confuse him for the heck of it. Okay, so these guys, oh, I messed it up, I can't believe it. These guys are so annoying. I can't believe I messed up the trick. No, I have absolutely no problem with it. That is such a fail. You've seen a golden fail here. They are nearly invincible with their shields on. So you have to wait till they open them too, which is what makes them really annoying. Well, I might get another chance to try it out. Maybe we'll just go straight through to the dragon tank. Ah, how annoying. More guys. Look at me stand on air. For the time, this had some pretty good graphics switching to a two-dimensional view here, but since it's actually still the, rather than the right-left, it's the side-by-side. What did that do? Oh well. When you're playing this casually, it's good to knock the guards out because they give you free tonics, and you're probably a little low on healing at this point in the game. Luckily, this guy's clueless. Yeah, mid-tonics even. We're gonna go ahead and help him out just because I'm a super nice guy. You can't save him if you wait the 3 days in trial and not try to break out. Because you'll be at the execution spot instead. Until Bob shows up to save you. I'm not actually going to go in there. Another mid-tonic, which I really don't need, but oh well. Ah. Just spamming it because. Oh, I did it again. If you walk right between these guys. you'll actually pass by without triggering them, and today, for some reason, I can't do it. Oh, such a fail. Help! Oh, there's Bob? The body. 5 of them. I don't need to, but I always do anyway. Alright, here it comes, Dragon Tank. How'd they get it up here? Shink. And so much for the Dragon Tank. Cyclone's the only good way to get rid of it since it has a shield that blocks lightning and fire. Which is kind of amusing because technically we don't have magic yet, although we have abilities that do count as magical. Whatever. And the hilarious part. Whee! Let's run over there just for that bit. Alright, time to make our break. And how on earth did he get into the throne room from where he was? Come on, Bob. Oh, they cut us off. Now what do we do? Obviously, there's only one thing to do. So, since we brought the princess back, but instead of being congratulated, we were hailed as a terrorist, put on trial, thrown in prison, unjustly sentenced to execution, broke out, and decided to go with us and abandon the castle since nobody listens to her. And we can't escape, so let's just go through a gate to some random time period. Sure, why not? Okay, after passing through the gate, I'll see you on the flip side as we pick up Robo, I believe. Yes, that'll be our next point. Our next Bob. Alrighty, I lied. We're gonna do this boss. Oh no. Bob! The Guardian and Bit. Let's do a really impressive move to take them out. Fire. Ice. Lightning! by your powers combined. No, not really. Splat. One of the most powerful attacks in the game, actually. That triple. Same with the one from Frog, but these three generally have superior magic. So. Alrighty. We're going to pick up next with the bike race.